Alright, so as much as I don't necessarily like Vertigo that much, the utility on this map is actually pretty cool. So starting right away with the A bomb site, what you want to do is you want to come over here, and the very first thing you want to throw is, you see this line here? At the very top of the line, just aim right where it ends, and then you're going to left click jump throw. So this very first piece of utility is going to airball all the way up, and as your teammates are pushing through ramp, it's going to cover up scaffolding and from side hall. What that's going to do is it's going to make it so that your teammates don't really have to worry about the player peeking early onto your team for any sort of information. And next up, what you want to do is after you have taken control of ramp, have your teammate, obviously the smoke will have dissipated by then after you've taken this position, have your teammate watch this and scaffolding for you, or catwalk for you. What you want to throw is a series of middle click throws. So from the rightmost, you want to count 1, 2, 3 of these little things that are hanging off, these little pipes. So you're going to count 1, 2, 3, and then right smack in the middle of that pipe, you want to middle click jump throw. You want to aim at this big bulbous thing, just anywhere on the thing. I just usually center it. Middle click jump throw, and then right click jump throw. So what that's going to do is it's actually going to create a very nice and beautiful wall for you to push onto site with. The only thing it doesn't cover, though, is, on site, catwalk, headshot, and heaven. But, it's much better than having to deal with positions from elevator and such. So the one thing about the headshot angle is that they would have to jump up to look into ramp. So, it's kind of like their own suicide if they wish to do so. But as for this player on site, what you're going to want to do is from the exact same position, without even moving, you want to crouch down, aim pretty much anywhere you want on this open area, and just middle click throw a flashbang. What that's going to do is it's going to land on the ground right over here. And from the enemy team perspective, you can see it doesn't last very long on their screen before flashing. So you can see you have just about that much time to react. And it pretty much full whites them. And if you throw both flashbangs about like this, it's just going to full white them completely. And unless your teammates, come up to the A-bomb site pretty comfortably so. From the exact same position, if you really want to throw like another piece of utility, you can actually drop down from the sandbags, from the concrete bags, onto this corner, aim at this little pillar thing, I guess, at the very bottom middle of it. Just left click a Molotov in there. What that's going to do is it's going to land pretty deep inside of elevator and prevent anyone from rotating over to the A bomb site. You might want to have your duo or, convince one of your random teammates to throw this utility though, because it's a little much throwing 3 smokes, 2 flashbangs, and then a molly on top of that. Alright, so for the B bomb site execute, we find ourselves back in T-spawn. What you're going to want to do is ask for 2 smokes right over here. And really convenient thing about this is that any spawn in Vertigo is going to be able to have a direct sight line, a direct line of sight to this area. So just ask your teammates for 2 smokes. What you want to do is aim at this light bulb, and a little bit to the top left, you can see this little empty area right on this corner, right? You want to aim not right at the corner, but a little bit off to it, inside the empty space. So if you pull out your crosshair, you can see like my crosshair gap is pretty much in the corner itself, right? In the crevice. You want to left click jump throw for all of these smokes. So you want to throw that one. And then you want to follow the yellow line, right? Follow the yellow line until you meet the first black line here. So right where they intersect, left click jump throw. And then on that same line, you want to go down until you meet this brown line right over here, and then left click jump throw all the same. So putting it all together.
Smoking. Throwing smoke. Smoking.
All right. So what that's going to do is it's going to create a huge wall for anyone who dares to retake the B bomb site. And I've been here for an hour for an hour, 60 minutes. 60 minutes, 3,600 seconds of my time concocting this lineup with like my lab coat on, my mad scientist glasses and all that shit. You guys have no idea like how long I've been here. The A bomb site executes, by the way, came up. It took me 10 minutes to come up with them. So you might be wondering, well, you got the retakes covered. What about the guys who are on site, right? Well, to that I say, that's going to be up to your teammates, right? For your teammates, the people who are already on stairs, they're going to be taking on the guy who's on white. And then, you know, as for anyone who's in the back of site, holding any sort of strange position, I mean, from anywhere on this back wall, if you hold out a Molotov, aim at this beam right here, and then just tapping W, left-click throw, like this, it's going to land pretty far back onto the B bomb site. And it's going to pretty much just cover any spot you want to molly off, any spot you've seen an enemy, right? If you really want to top it all off, you can throw a grenade in there as well. And that's really going to make sure like anyone who's holding any of these positions are just going to die. Alternatively, your teammates can just tap their heads. Who knows, you know, give or take. Now, the unfortunate thing is I can't really come up with a flashbang. I mean, the best I can do is just coming up to this corner, aiming anywhere around this guy and just left-click throwing. And what that's going to do is it's going to land to the left of your teammates, but it doesn't really have a good uptime for the people who are holding. Like, for example, if I were to just rethrow this, like, you see how it just barely flashes the people who are holding site? Like, it doesn't even full white them, it just slightly whites them. So, you know, I'd suggest just looking at other videos for a more efficient flashbang you can throw after throwing your smoke execute. But the one thing I can say for sure is never ever throw flashbangs here. Because you know what's going to happen? It's going to land right in front of your teammates' faces. Like, imagine I'm this guy right over here trying to duel the guy in pillar. Bang. Right in front of my face. Flashed for as long as humanly possible. As long as it was even designed for. You know? So you rarely want to throw that, ever. Alright, so as for the CT side, everything is very simple, actually. So for the CT side, A, the most important piece of utility you need to throw is actually a smoke. You don't need to worry about throwing it through that window there, because we got a big-ass door here. So it's actually become really accessible. What you want to do is, as you're running, just make sure you hug the left wall so that you're in this position. Make sure you line yourself up straight with this pillar here. And as you're running, just before you're about to hit this thing, just left-click throw pretty much anywhere onto this beam. You kind of want to aim high, though. Like, just around this, I'd say. So, you know, from the perspective of you running in, you're just going to look like this. And then bang, right? And what that's going to do is it's going to land pretty deep into ramp. And just pretty much cover up the entire pathway. It's really nice for you if you want to go up scaffolding as well. It kind of barely leaves a gap for anyone to peek. So if you want to get up close, you know, just shift walk all the way over here and lurk behind this smoke. It's completely possible for you to do so, and maybe catch someone who's holding 50. Now, as for mid, I mean, your job is pretty easy as well. As you're running up, just aim at this thing, and then it's going to pretty much land in the center every single time. This is my favorite one to throw. I throw it every single match, every single time I'm holding mid. Very cool. It covers up the entire doorway. Pretty easy. As for the B player, I mean, you have a couple options. As you're running here, you can just bank it off of that wall. Like, incendiaries banked off of this wall is pretty fine. If you don't like that, you can middle click throw a smoke onto here. Prevent them from, like, pushing any further. You can also just middle click throw like this if you really want to be an asshole to your white player, because then it really prevents your teammates from peeking onto stairs. But it's really up to you. It's really up to you and how you want to play with your teammates. If you're the solo B player, then, you know, you might get benefit from throwing your smokes like this. You know, it all depends on what kind of enemies you're matched up against. So one last piece of cool utility I want to show you is actually having your teammate come over here for the B bomb site and aiming right at this little intersection here between this beam and this white wall. You can tell because the white wall has a line in it too. So aiming right at the middle here, shift, W tap, jump throw, right? And what that's going to do is it's going to bounce off of this wall and land extra deep in this angle. And what that's going to do is it's going to create a nice wall for your teammates to just cross onto the site. So once again, I took some damage there. Your lineup is going to look something like this, right? And then your teammate, the lineup they throw, is going to land right over here. So looking at the entire execute, like, you can see this is just unholdable for the CTs, right? The only possible position they could be in is, you know, right over here. But this is like pretty much suicide angle. One molly and they're just dead.